Okay, here we are up in Jackson getting ready to take on Wingfield with the head coach of the Orioles, Coach Todd Mangum. Coach, started off district play last week with a big win at home. Now we're on the road, another district game. How are your Orioles looking coming in tonight? Everybody healthy, and what you got in store for us?
Well, for the most part, Marshall, we're healthy. We got a couple of nicks and some bumps and bruises, and some guys may be a little limited tonight. But for the most part, we're healthy, and just anxious to get this game going, and try to be 2-0 in the division.
You look at games going in, of course fans do, and I'm not a coach, but I'll speak to you as a fan, you can address that. We look at a game like this, we go, well, we shouldn't have any trouble with these guys. We would, from a fan standpoint, what do you do with your team? How do you address that?
Well, the biggest thing we want to do is we want to maintain our level of intensity and our level of play, and we want to play up. We don't want to have missed assignments and missed tackles and blown coverages and that kind of stuff. We want to take care of our business because we're still in a marathon. We're not sprinting yet. We're still in a marathon, and we want to just keep getting better for the long haul.
Looking at the team, come out here offensively. Let's look at your offense and your defense. What do you want to accomplish on the offensive side of the ball tonight?
Offensively, we're going to want to be able to establish the run, of course, because as you know and everybody knows, to be successful, you got to be able to run the football. We want to be able to consistently run the football, and then in the passing game, we want to do some things where we want to, want to spread the ball around a little bit more, and that's not from a play calling point of view. That's from our quarterback being able to spread the ball around and making the right reads and everything. And so those are things that offensively, and then of course we want to take care of the football, not turn the ball over. From a defensive standpoint, again, we want to stop the run. We want to be good on third down. We want to get off the field on third down. We want to be good tacklers, and we've got to do a better job of takeaways. I feel like we need to have more fumble recoveries. We need to have more interceptions than we do right now. So that's another point of emphasis this week.
Again, looking at this team, we're going to be playing tonight up here on their home turf. We played them last year at Wayne County, and it got a little ugly at the end. And a lot of pushing, a lot of shoving, a lot of and so. From a sense, that can be dangerous for a team, and with this ejection rule, and so what are you telling your kids about that? Are you coaching them in that respect too?
Well, we're going to take care of our business because we always know when something happens, they always see the second guy. So we want to make sure that we don't get caught up in all that stuff that's going on. They have a new coaching staff here, and some things are different now. They're doing some things different. So, hopefully we'll have a good, clean game. But, we've got to worry about us when it comes to that. And we don't want to lose a player because they happen to lose their head, or the people that have control of the game, let the game get out of control.
Okay. Well, we're going to cut you loose. We appreciate you, as always, taking time to be with us. So we're going to take a break, and we'll be back with more pregame activities here in Jackson after this word from our sponsors.
Smith's Automotive Recycling's been in Waynesboro for over 25 years, and Calvin Smith owns the only used parts store in Waynesboro. At Smith's, our warehouse is full of quality used parts, from motors and transmissions to anything else you might need. Tail lights, mirrors, and there are plenty of new parts in stock. Calvin will make you a good deal, and Jasper will find you the best part in the house. Remember, Calvin is working for his grandchildren, and you too.
Here we are at beautiful North Jackson Field in Jackson, Mississippi, ready to take on another district opponent tonight in the Falcons. So that's correct, is it not? Of Wingfield High School. And I have with me, as usual, K-Dog, Kenny Odom, and also got a new name along the way here. You're just a man of many talents, Agent K. So
faces of doctors. don't blow my fist up the head off, if I not grow back.
And of course the machine over here. Some call him the Dream, but I stick with the machine. Paul Keane from the Wayne County News. So another district game. Kenny, we're going to come over here with the Agent K side tonight, and what do you see tonight coming up here as we get ready to take on this bunch from Wingfield?
Well, they looking at them on film, they got a lot of talent.
most of these JPS schools do. It's amazing, to have so many kids up here to pick from. Now, Wingfield doesn't have the strength and roster numbers that some of the other JPS schools do, but they still have a lot of talent. And looking at them on film, I mean, they gave Brookhaven fits, and that's something that last year they probably would have done in maybe not a football manner, but this year, if you and of course nobody there at home has seen this, but if you were able to watch the film like we were, you saw some talented athletes that had opportunities to make big plays, and they're missing some cohesion there among their players. But they, as Coach Mangum was talking about in his segment, they can be a dangerous football team. And again, our focus is, like he said, it has to be on doing what we need to do, doing what we know to do. Keeping our offense on the field and our defense off the field as much as we can, and get this thing wound up and not get in trouble and not get anybody hurt.
Each game in this district schedule is so important because, first of all, you got to win them to get to the playoffs, and based on how many you win, it speaks where you start off in those playoffs. Paul, what you got in store for us here? What do you see coming tonight?
Well, pretty much like Kenny said, the key is going to be Wingfield is 0-5. Don't play down to your competition. In years past, we have been known to do that. And then the coaches would come in at halftime, chew on a little tail, and they would come out and play better. Come out, take control of things, take care of your business, and make this what it should be, which is what we call a stats game, where everybody gets their name in the box score. And, use it for what it is. We got to play it. It's a district game. But come out here, take care of things, and then we can get some valuable experience for some players who have not played a single JV game yet. Now, they're scheduled to play Monday against Northeast Jones, but every JV game has been rained out, canceled, whatever. If you take care of business in the first half, you can get a lot of young players a lot of very valuable snaps and valuable playing time, because I was counting as Wingfield walked in, they have 30 players. So they're not going to be substituting. If Wayne County's fortunate enough and gets out far ahead and takes their foot off the gas and starts shuffling people in and out, these guys are still going to see playing time against starters because Wingfield just doesn't have that much depth.
Here's a question, or as much a statement, to a prompt, if you will, for both of you. I'll give a chance to address it. Early on we started this feeling, we've talked about it a lot, and that is we looked at our defense, and we've seen, I remember after the first game we talked to Coach Mangum, and he said, look, we evaluated our defensive players, and we had to decide whether it was a physical issue or a mental issue. And they decided it was mental. That was the coaching side, and they began to coach. And we have seen great strides in our first two lines of defense, being the defensive line and the linebackers, made over these first 5 games. And we see, new folks coming out there. These sophomore linebackers are growing up and getting more playing time. And our defensive line, those tackles are getting, I just can't help getting closer and closer and closer to the line of scrimmage. Fewest number of tackles by defensive backs this year were made last Friday night. So talk about that, Kenny.
Well, it goes back to a couple of things. One is, as Paul says, the lack of being able to play a JV schedule hurts you, because that's where those guys get some actual playing time under the lights. And when you don't have that hurts you developmentally and getting your program developed. And last year we had the same issue to it, not nearly the degree it's been this year. But you can see that in an experience for players. We talked about on the ride up here about, it's hard to believe how bad we were the first 2 ball games. And if you look back over the history of Wayne County football the last 12 years, we hadn't very often in that time, we hadn't started out 0-2, and especially much less 2 years in a row. But we've opened to get some real good football teams. Now, if we turn around and we go back and play Petal and play Meridian now, those 2 ball games are going to be closer, going to be a lot closer. And you've seen, if folks have been there, if you watch the games, you've seen how much better we are getting defensively. And we're also getting better offensively. And we're starting to find that groove. There's still some little things, those long passes we talked about. Yeah. That is a mental thing, and that is something where if we ever hit 1 or 2 of those, then they're going to start coming. But it's just a matter of, the only way you get better in the situation we're in is you got to play. And sometimes you got to get your behind handed to you a time or two. But if you've got players that have physical tools and the desire and heart, and our guys do, then that makes them that upsets them. That makes them ill, mad, and they want to get better. And I think you've seen that in this bunch over the last couple of weeks.
Kenny's talking to Texas players and their progress, and let's talk about this coaching staff. We have been blessed at Wayne County through the years with coaching across the board in all sports. But now we see a wonderful work in progress going on here from a coaching standpoint.
Oh, no doubt. I mean, the coaches, I really like this staff. They're a good mix of young and old. You know, you got the old bulls, you got the young bulls, and I mean, it's a very, very good mixture. And they are the older coaches. The more experienced coaches are bringing along these younger coaches, and you're seeing them take on more and more responsibility on the sidelines, which is only going to benefit because you always want to develop depth with your players. Well, you also want to develop depth with your coaches, because you want them to be able to see things and to be confident enough to walk up to a Todd Mangum or a Bud Blackledge or a Bubba Davis and say, look, this is what I'm seeing. And by the same token, those coaches have enough confidence in those younger guys to say, okay, this is what they're seeing. We need to act on it. And you're starting to see that blossom. You're starting to see that develop, and that can only help in the long run.
I'm kind of reminded of the old E.F. Hutton commercials, and we've got some E.F. Huttons on that coaching staff, and I think these kids are coming to the fact when they start speaking, they're going to listen. We're trying to make progress here too as well with our broadcast. We've had some issues. We want you to know that we've been trying to do some things to make our product to you a little bit better. I want to thank Ken Roberts and the work that he's doing, and we are still in work in process as well. And Rebecca, who does our editing for us and some of the additional stuff that goes into our program, and we're trying to give you a better product, and we're trying to do the things that we need to do as a team to make your viewing experience more pleasurable. So hang in there with us as we try to grow and we try to improve like these War Eagles do every week. So that having been said, we're going to take a break, and then we're going to come back with high school football here between the Falcons of Wingfield and your Wayne County High School War Eagles. We'll see you after the break.